The second-round match this morning with Dominic Stricker of Switzerland. The 25-year-old Tiafo is ranked 10th in the world. He's trying to win his first Grand Slam tennis major. The Dodgers wrap up their 4-game series with Pittsburgh tonight. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is dedicated to empowering our communities by providing progressive talk radio for our audience. We strive to be an intersectional voice for the voiceless. As a Black-owned and operated station, we are committed to highlighting diverse perspectives and creating safe spaces for meaningful dialogue. We believe that everyone has something unique to bring to these political, economic, social, and cultural conversations, and we don't shy away from the hard conversations about current events. We endeavor to be a beacon of hope and understanding, while boldly challenging listeners to think more deeply about difficult topics that impact us all. With this in mind, our mission statement at KBLA Talk 1580 is simple: to create an inclusive platform that promotes civil discourse through honest dialogue and encourages personal growth among our listeners, so they can become the active agents of change. Our vision is to establish ourselves as the premier radio network with relevant programming across the beloved community, connecting people through shared experiences and collective power for lasting impact beyond these challenging times.
Back in stride again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tavis Smiley Show. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey filling in for our brother Tavis Smiley, who is off today. But make no mistake about it, we are back in stride again. I am just delighted to be here today with each and every one of you. You know, typically you can find me on Sundays right here on KBLA Talk 1580 as host of A More Perfect Union. Yeah, that's our Sunday show. And we have been having a time with so many wonderful guests, change makers, newsmakers, lawmakers. In fact, just this past Sunday, Mayor Karen Bass joined us live from the Essence Festival to talk about some of the work she's doing with Black mayors, among other things. But you never know who's going to be stopping by More Perfect Union, so be sure to check us out on the 10s. That's 10 a.m. Pacific time and 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Pacific time. That's what we mean by on the 10s. You can also subscribe to a More Perfect Union podcast and never, ever, ever miss an episode. That's right. We have a wonderful show in store for you. But first, just a few announcements. You know, I mean, there's a lot going on. It's the summertime, and folks are outside. I'm outside. Are you outside? Yeah. and it's nice outside, but it's even nicer inside when there's a little air conditioning, and so that's why I want to make sure that everybody knows about Outfest Los Angeles. It's one of the largest LGBTQ film festivals in the world, happening right here in the City of Angels, July 13th through the 23rd, and so get your passes. Go to outfest.org/attend. And might I say, there are 9 black films that you will see at this year's Outfest, including Kokomo City, which won big at the Sundance Film Festival. And so come on out, check out the films, support black storytellers, amplify black voices, and come on by and say hello to me too. How about that? Now on to some news nuggets that I think that you all may want to hold on to. Certainly, everyone is talking about the lab tests that confirm the white substance in the White House. Yeah, that was probably one of the most frequently asked questions during the White House press briefing just yesterday. A formal lab test of the White House substance found at the White House on Sunday has come back positive for cocaine. This according to a Secret Service spokesman. It's unclear how long the bag was in the White House, the blurry timeline, and the number of people who walked through the area where the cocaine was found could make it difficult to determine who was responsible. The bag containing the cocaine remains in a federal lab where it will be tested for DNA and fingerprints. The substance will also be tested for other things. And so, whoever is baggy that is, you better step up, because you got the Secret Service involved and they ain't playing. And so we continue to follow that story. But I am so delighted to begin this journey this morning with each and every one of you, talking to one of the co-founders of Spill. Now, have you heard of Spill? Because if you haven't heard of Spill, we're going to spill the tea on Spill. If you are a Twitter user, you would be delighted to learn that these two brothers that once worked for Twitter and were laid off when Elon Musk took over, have channeled their talent and their energy and their community into building something new, building something that we haven't seen before. A safe place for black folks, a safe place for LGBTQ folks, a safe place where black Twitter can migrate. We can make our exodus over to the Spill app. We're going to tell you everything you need to know about Spill, and plus we'll get the co-founders' take on the changing landscape in media, including social media. You might have heard even just this morning that Meta has launched a new social media app. And so, a lot of folks trying to fill that void created by some of the wackiness happening over at Twitter. And so today, this next hour, we're going to devote it to Spill. You are going to become a Spill expert by the end of this hour. When we come forward, more with the co-founder of the Spill app. You're listening to the Tavis Smiley Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Good thing we've got 3 hours.
More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
Have you heard about Lendistry? Lendistry is a national black-led small business lender that is headquartered right here in LA. Once you've started your business, Lendistry provides flexible financing options starting at $50,000 to help you access the affordable capital needed to grow. Whether financing is needed to increase working capital, acquire a business, purchase inventory and equipment, or refinance debt, Lendistry has a solution for you. Lending products range from traditional business term loans and non-revolving lines of credit to SBA 7A loans and commercial real estate financing. Lendistry's pre-application process is simple and does not impact your credit score. Visit lendistry.com/KBLA to learn more and to get started with an application right from the website.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, Hi, I'm Ray Richardson, your sports connection here at KBLA Talk 1580. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough every Saturday night at 7 for Out of Bounds, the show that brings some flavor to the world of sports for 60 minutes. We take you beyond the scores and press conferences. We give you our point of view, the way black folks see what's going down. You can join the conversation and give us your analysis at 1-800-920-1580. Out of Bounds every Saturday night at 7 on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
You like your style, though.
When you can find everything you need at prices you can afford, that's totally Target. It's that feeling when quality Good and Gather ingredients on the barbecue bring family around the table. Or when favorite day after practice snacks let you celebrate the whole team for less. It's when saving more on Up and Up sunscreen means more fun in the sun. And when Target Circle Rewards program gives you more perks on what you buy most and is always free to join, that's totally Target.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Conversations that matter. You're listening to Tavis Smiley on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Tavis Smiley Show on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, filling in for our fearless friend and leader, Tavis Smiley, who is off today. I am so delighted to welcome our first guest this hour. He is a real-life changemaker. I mean, I'm just so in awe of the radical imagination that we all get to witness in real time. It's not very often that you hear people, leaving one company and going to start another company that fills a void that previous company ignored. That is what's happening in the case of Spill, which is the recently launched competitor to Twitter. It's already setting its sights on becoming the pioneering trailblazer among Black-owned social platforms. And joining me right here, right now, is Spill co-founder Alfonso Terrell. His friends call him Fonz. I don't know, by the end of the hour, maybe I'll be his friend, and he'll let me call him Fonz. But he's here to talk about the groundbreaking platform and to discuss the current state of social media today. Welcome to the Tavis Smiley Show, Fonz.
Hey, Dr. Quartey, thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Excited to have you, and just so excited about Spill. I am one of the few folks that got an invitation to be a part of the beta testing of Spill, and it really feels like a home for the Black Twitter folks that have been out in the wilderness since Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter. Is that by design?
Yeah, I think absolutely. We call Spill a visual conversation that puts culture first. And the vision was always to become the de facto place to discuss and discover culture, catering to culture drivers, Black folks, queer folks. We always drive culture on all social platforms, Twitter included, but many others as well, going back to the beginnings of social media, but we're often never built for. In terms of the technology to, protect us, to credit us, to reward us. And so that's what me and my co-founder set out to build with Spill.
So for our listeners who may have varying degrees of social media savvy, I think, most people kind of understand Twitter because it's just been in the zeitgeist so long, being able to, post, basically whatever in what used to be 140 and now 280 characters. What are the ABCs of Spill for our listeners? Again, wide range of social media savvy, give us spill the tea on the ABCs of Spill.
Yeah, so the ABCs of Spill, it really begins with the Spill itself. So we designed Spill to be imagine sort of a giant group chat with some of your favorite friends and most interesting people from the culture. And so you can create a spill using text, just a thought that you can share or post really easily. But you can also add that text to an image or to a GIF or to a video even, and create what we call sort of more of a meme format in the social media world, something that, you know, you've probably seen a lot on a lot of different social media platforms that people usually create, combining different, you know, forms of media with other tools. But right in Spill, you can do it right there, super fast. And that's really what makes it visual. It makes it super fun and alive. And you can share your spills very easy to other platforms as well. And then you can discover and kind of connect with people based on those interests that you're talking about. So Essence Fest was a big conversation on Spill, you know, a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of days ago, I should say. We have the art Spill, the pets of Spill. We have the baddies and the zaddies of Spill, and the community even calling themselves the Spillionaires. So it's really just a great place to build community and express yourself in real time.
And talk to us about, you know, and I love the Spillionaires, and you know, who doesn't love the zaddies? I love that. But talk to us a little bit about what inspired you to create this world. I mean, you know, there are some folks that might even think of it as sort of, you know, an emerging Wakanda type place in social media. There are those scholars out there that study Afrofuturism and see what you're building at Spill as a demonstration of that. And so talk to us a little bit about the inspiration and why you all chose to center Black folks and queer folks in building this platform.
Yeah, 100%. The inspiration really came from my co-founder and I's backgrounds. You know, my co-founder is an incredible technologist. He's been building, you know, super scaled, you know, tech systems for brands like Microsoft and other social platforms, including Twitter. And my background is as a social media manager and marketer, where, you know, we're always building community and creating content and telling stories. And almost all the time at any major company, it's the communities from that are often considered marginalized or underserved, but especially Black communities and queer communities that drive culture on any platform, you know, and choose, you know, sort of what's going to be hot, what the new fashions are, coming up with the new lexicon and trends. But we repeatedly see that that's, you know, not credited properly. We've seen that with some of the issues in TikTok and, you know, Delia Harmon with her dances and all of that stuff. And we've also seen hate speech come towards these communities more than any other group. And so this is something that we felt was a huge, huge need. It transcended, you know, whether or not there was another Twitter or microblogging platform. That really wasn't the problem we were trying to solve. We really felt that this was an open gap and something that, you know, really would make a huge difference and change the game. You know, we kind of compared ourselves a little bit, you know, not to overstate it too much right now because we're early days, but, you know, when, you know, in the 90s and the 80s, you know, hip-hop entrepreneurs, Russell Simmons and Puff and all that stuff, you know, we went from being artists to owners. And, you know, Berry Gordy was obviously a great inspiration, but me and my co-founder came from music, and we really felt that this was missing from the social space, that we really own the platforms that we are also creating, you know, the culture on. That would be amazing, game-changing.
Game-changing indeed. I mean, so game-changing that you all were trending on social media, I think just yesterday or the day before yesterday. I mean, while everybody is, you know, kind of, you know, enjoying their 4th of July vacation and outside, as I mentioned at the top of the show, a lot of folks were inside and outside, you know, tweeting and posting about Spill. Were you all surprised by that sort of explosion of interest in Spill?
You know, we were, you never know when those moments are going to happen, but we've worked in social media in these spaces for a minute. So we knew it was going to happen in some way, shape, or form eventually if we really built something that would resonate with the audience that we're building for. And so, yeah, it was incredible to, you know, get up Saturday morning and, you know, we had heard about some of the changes on some of these other platforms, and we're like, just send out some messages on the socials. Hey, if you haven't heard of Spill before, we've just been in the App Store for about 3 weeks, and put out some messages, and people started sharing it with friends, and we're like, hey, DM us for a code if you want to get in. And before you know it, by Saturday afternoon, we're trending. And we were like, okay, great, Saturday, that's amazing. We saw a bunch of people signing up for the platform. And we're invite only right now because we're still in beta, meaning we're still testing and building a lot of core functionality. So it's not that easy necessarily to find us. And so we were really amazed by the number of people, sharing codes with their friends and, spreading the word. It was so beautiful. And we thought, great, Saturday, that's amazing. We had a great day. But I woke up Sunday morning and we were trending even higher. I think by Sunday afternoon, we were trending at number 1 on Twitter. And then we started climbing up the Apple App Store, which again is unbelievable, period, for a new platform that's invite only, that's in beta, but especially for a Black-owned platform, and, our team is, again, majority Black and queer. Our advisors are all from the same community. Most of our funders are as well. And to be able to become the number 1 social app in the Apple App Store, invite only, for several days, we welcomed over 130,000 people to the platform, was just astonishing and beautiful. And we're thrilled.
Well, we are thrilled to hear all about it. I mean, this is game changing. I don't think that there's any hyperbole there. This is a game changing app, and I think a lot of people, are recognizing that. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but for all of our leaders, learners, and listeners, for our folks that listen to KBLA Talk 1580 because they are unapologetically Black, unapologetically progressive, if they wanted to get a code to participate, to be in community on Spill, where can they go?
Well, just for you guys.
Oh, this is a just for us moment. We like just for us moments, just for our KBLA Talk 1580 listeners. Fonz, tell the people, where can they go for a limited time only?
Now, limited time only. You can go download Spill in the Apple App Store right now, and if you put in the code SPILLMOB, which is SPILLMOB, you can get access to Spill right now. Join the Spillionaires. We'd be happy to have you and spread the word. And of course, we're again centering our communities first. This is open to anyone, but we really wanted our communities to have the ability to come in and set the culture of the platform from the beginning. So we're happy to welcome all of you guys.
This is so awesome. And thank you for being so generous with that code. The code is SPILLMOB, y'all. And so go to the App Store and be a part of what these brothers are building online, a safe place for Black folks, for queer folks, for folks that are allies, and anybody who wants to be in community with us. This is a great destination to go. And a little bit, I want to talk to you about, some of the ways in which you all are mitigating against, the proliferation of hate speech targeting our communities online. We'll talk about that in a moment. But I want to go back to something that you said earlier about just all the different conversations that are being curated on this platform. And I'm just curious, have you all noticed any emerging trends? Just last week, there were a number of really consequential Supreme Court decisions that came down that will disproportionately impact the very same people that Spill app exists to center and to serve. And so did you all notice any emerging trends, any conversations that are being had on Spill that may not have quite broken through the noise of mainstream news?
Yeah, I think some of the things that I've been super excited to see is, in the interest, given our interest in creating a safe space for our communities, the emphasis on Black mental health and wellness resources and Black therapists and other tools that people can use to keep themselves just in a healthy mind state. That's been something that's really starting to organically, contribute, and people are creating, accounts and handles specifically dedicated to that on platforms. So we're seeing that. We're seeing, of course, news and journalists. I don't know if you're familiar with Phil Lewis from the Huffington Post.
Familiar with Phil Lewis. Phil Lewis is a friend. He's a personal friend. He's a friend of KBLA Talk 1580, one of the hardest working journalists I know.
He's amazing. And so Phil was one of our, first journalists on the platform, and I think he's the most followed person on Spill right now. But he's been informing the community as only he can do, with just his incredible reporting on, a variety of different stories ranging from, he gave us some of the first looks of the juvenile tiny desk concept, that went crazy, sort of the joy side to, things that are going on with all these crazy Supreme Court rulings and, other incredible just, stories that wouldn't necessarily, I think, maybe get the airtime on some of the other platforms that you might see out there. So we're seeing a lot of that start to come up as well. And we welcome, more journalists, more creators, from our communities to really tell your stories and offer your services on Spill and, not to, of course, like spam people, but contribute in the form of the community, because that's really the vision for this. We think this can be just an incredibly powerful tool, especially as we continue to scale, to provide resources, information that might not be readily available elsewhere.
Well, I certainly hope that my journalist friends over at the National Association of Black Journalists, which will be meeting in Birmingham, Alabama, very, very, very soon. I hope that they're all listening, and I hope that they join folks like me and Phil in migrating to the platform, joining the platform, playing around with the app, and recognizing the power of Spill as a communications channel, as a way to build community, and as a way to also correct some of the misinformation and disinformation that spreads like wildfire on social media, right? And so I think we need places where we can trust the content. In about a minute or so, Fonz, talk to us about verification, right? And this was a major issue with Twitter. How are you all sort of, addressing, the issue around are people who they say they are? And, is the information that they're posting, particularly when it comes to news information, is it information that we can trust?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I think, misinformation is something that's a challenge for, any and all platforms, particularly ones where the content moves super fast. So we have, again, we're early days, but on the roadmap is really building out tools, especially as we know we're getting into next year when, there's a lot of election cycles happening and things of that nature, that allow us to, slow down, frankly, certain pieces of information or things like that so that it can be, properly fact-checked and, reduced in visibility if it's something that, is incorrect. We've also had a lot of discussions about, viral videos that might, relate to our community that might be traumatic. I was working at Twitter when, of course, George Floyd's murder happened. And, for our, many people, it was just really, really awful to have to constantly see his death over and over again, on social. And we want to build tools that allow people to really, as we say, customize your brew so that if that's, we want people to be able to get the information that they want, but also to be able to not have to view that all the time if you don't want to either. So that's something that is a priority for us on the map.
More when we come forward. You're listening to the Tavis Smiley Show. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey in conversation with Spill co-founder Alfonso Fonz Terrell. All things Spill this hour on the Tavis Smiley Show when we come forward. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
Be sure to like and follow Tavis Smiley at The Real Tavis Smiley and get Twitter updates at Tavis Smiley. The conversation continues when we come forward.
Thank you for sharing a part of your Thursday with us here on the Black Information Network. I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest. In Atlanta, Georgia, that community is remembering a longtime African-American city leader. Marvin Arrington Sr. died yesterday. Arrington served as a city council president during his long tenure on the board before he was eventually appointed as a Fulton County Superior Court judge in 2002. The number of Americans asking for first-time unemployment benefits is up. The Labor Department says it received 248,000 requests for the week that ended July 1st. That's up 12,000 from the week prior, but it's not too far off from what most analysts had been expecting. The thinking was that today's number would be right around 245,000. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
It's your last chance to shop July 4 savings at Lowe's. Right now, get up to an additional $1,000 off select major kitchen appliances. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 7/12. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
DeMar Smith, president of the National Football League Players Association, is calling for the NFL to get rid of the Rooney Rule. The Rooney Rule was implemented 20 years ago with the intent of improving diversity hiring in the NFL, specifically black head coaches. Smith called the Rooney Rule a failure. When the NFL implemented the Rooney Rule in 2003, the league had 2 black head coaches. 20 years later, only 3 of the league's 32 teams have a black head coach entering the 2023 season. Francis Tiafoe, the only black American male competing at Wimbledon, has a second-round match this morning with Dominic Stricker of Switzerland. The 25-year-old Tiafoe is ranked 10th in the world. He's trying to win his first Grand Slam tennis major. The Dodgers wrap up their 4-game series with Pittsburgh tonight. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. 2 years down, many more years to go. We're just getting started at KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Maisha Cairo here for KBLA Talk 1580. We're live in Los Angeles at JP Morgan Chase's Advancing Black Wealth Tour. And I'm speaking to some of the attendees today to see why it was so important for them to be here.
Yeah, this is Lathan and Tyler. Main reason that's very important for me to be here is just to leave a legacy for my kids. Black wealth, generational wealth is what we need in our community, you know. Oh, Chase, someone has to take the lead. They're showing, big business like Chase cares, and they're putting their money where their mouth is at. So it's good to see, big institution like Chase, giving a lifting hand, to the community, and you got to respect that. It makes me want to bank with Chase, and give them another look. If I go to another institution, I actually see what Chase is doing for the community.
That's right, Chase is doing their part to help advance Black wealth. For more money support, tune in every day from 12 to 2 to KBLA Talk 1580's Midday Money Chain, right here.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-381-8528 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-381-8528. That's 800-381-8528. What do you have to lose? Call 800-381-8528. Again, 800-381-8528.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Tavis Smiley Show on KBLA Talk 1580. Surprise, surprise, I'm not Tavis Smiley. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey. You can hear me on Sundays right here on KBLA Talk 1580 as host of A More Perfect Union. I also serve as the Chief National Political Affairs Analyst for KBLA Talk 1580. I'm filling in for Tavis today as he is enjoying the day off. Well-deserved. And I've been looking forward to this conversation all week. All week. It's not every day that you get to talk to an innovator, a change maker, particularly in the tech space, that looks like you and comes from many of the communities that you're a part of. And so I'm really delighted to welcome Spill co-founder Alfonso Terrell. His friends call him Fonz. Now, if by the end of this hour he allows me to call him Fonz, then I think we did all right. Welcome back. How you doing?
I'm great, Dr. Quartey. We on Fonz terms now. You got it.
Oh, just that quick. I love it. Well, Fonz, you know, we were just talking earlier about hate speech, and you know, one of the things I love about this sort of race to fill the void that Twitter has created in terms of having a socially responsible platform that appropriately mitigated against some of the concerns around hate speech on social media platforms, that appropriately mitigated against some of the issues related to some of the misinformation and disinformation that has a tendency to target Black folks and other marginalized groups on social media. And so talk to us about how you all are approaching it. What did you learn from your days at Twitter that are informing how you and your co-founder appropriately mitigate against the challenges of hate speech targeting our communities?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it starts with two things. You know, my time at Twitter, one of the things that I learned was a lot of these platforms that we are used to today, you know, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, many of them are like 15, sometimes 20 years old at this point. We might forget they've been around for a little while. And when they were created, nobody knew what social media was going to become or how powerful and impactful it was going to be. So the guidelines, the purpose of these platforms was never really discussed in depth the way we know we need to do that now. And that's really where we started out with Spill, was really approaching this from two angles. First is, what do we stand for as a platform? What are our values? We are building this, so we really get to set the tone from jump, and that really makes a huge, huge difference, as we know, you know, based on the intention of the founders, right? Mm-hmm. And then the second thing is how can you enforce it, right? How can you carry out those values and implement them? So for anybody that's curious, you can go to spill.com and look at our community guidelines. We work with some of the, you know, luminary fields in the space and trust and safety to really make it clear what we're about. We're not here for any hate speech. You see it when you sign up for the platform. We have very clear, you know, memes, and we add a little fun humor to it. I think our last guideline is, we're here for the culture, but if you know, mess around, you're going to find out, basically, is the positioning. And
I'm sorry, you said mess around and find out? Okay, it's a morning show. You use your imagination.
You know, we keep it PG, but that's, you know, right. It's really about that, you know, really knowing that our intention is, if you like to go on online platforms and, you know, troll and hate speech and, you know, cause, you know, issue, Spill's not the place for you, mm-hmm. you know, and we're making that jump. And the second piece to that is how do we, enforce that? And so there's a couple of things we're doing technologically that just haven't been done before. We're building the first large language model AI moderation system that is trained by Black folks and queer folks, the people who get the most hate. You probably heard a bit about AI in the news, but there aren't people really training it for this specific use case that we are facing with the level of specificity that we are bringing to it. So that's something that has just begun and is only going to get better over time. We also have human, moderators that support that as well. So that's key. But the other thing we looked at was how do we, a lot of platforms are like, you can't do this and you can't do that, but how can we incentivize the positive behavior? How can we reward people for contributing to Spill in the ideal way where you're actively, elevating other voices, participating in conversations, sharing great content? And so we've got some tools in place that we're building right now that are going to help unlock benefits for you. Like the more consistent you are, the more positive you are, things like that on the platform. You're going to get, little tools, they'll unlock new features. They'll give you the ability to monetize and, maybe get some custom swag, all types of things. We just think it doesn't always have to be the stick. It can also be the carrot to make a better, more positive platform.
Well, we love swag here at KBLA Talk 1580, and so when you send out your Spill swag box, don't miss us here on Crenshaw Boulevard. I think it's really fantastic to see you all incentivizing good behavior because we see so much bad behavior on social media.
Yeah.
People are losing their minds. What in the world is going on? Some of the things that get posted and retweeted, and the toxicity level, is a bit much. And I think that's why you see a lot of people sort of looking around to figure out what platforms sort of make the most sense for them, what platforms are going to be worth their time, and what platforms are going to be best for their mental health. And so, Fonz, I got to ask you this. There are a lot of social media platforms out there. We've been talking about Spill, but there's also Blue Sky. Meta has an app that just went live recently. The Meta app. The name is escaping me. Threads. Yeah. So
you don't need to worry about it.
Fonzie, you ain't got to mention them, right? And so there's a lot of people trying to fill this void on Twitter, and so make the case right now for our listeners that are saying, okay, maybe one more app, but why Spill?
Yeah, it's a great question. I first want to say I think it's amazing that we're seeing so much innovation in the space, and we welcome it at Spill, but we're also supremely confident in not just our mission as a company to build for Black and queer audiences specifically, but also in our product. I think when you guys go check out Spill, download it. We just gave you guys the exclusive code just for your show. You're going to have an experience like you haven't probably ever had before on social. You're going to see Black folks, queer folks flourishing in community. I know we've talked about the Wakanda, references and things like that. But, we're actually very serious about that. We wanted to build a platform that was next generation for our community, not just another thing that does exactly the same things, but something that's going to lay the foundation for what the next 20, 30 years of social media could be. We have really ambitious roadmap that's going to, continue unfolding. As you'll see, that's you're going to take, Spillionaires both on and off platform, and just be an amazing journey to create community and connect through, this incredible tool. So I guarantee you, if you come to Spill and check it out, you will have an experience unlike you've ever had on social before, and I think you'll love it.
I am so excited about this. Oh my goodness, we could talk for hours about this. I'm so excited, and I'm sure we'll continue the conversation in one form or another. I want to encourage folks to download the Spill app and use the code SPILLMOB. That's SPILMOB This is exclusive for our KBLA Talk 1580 listeners. Did I get something wrong, Fonz?
SPILLMOB. Yeah,
that's
two
right.
L's.
That's right. SPILLMOB. That's right. You're listening to the Tavis Smiley Show here on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey. He's Fonz. He's the co-founder of the Spill app. More when we come forward.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
The Los Angeles Urban League helps African American and others in underserved communities achieve true social parity, economic self-reliance, and civil rights. For over 100 years, Los Angeles Urban League has ensured our communities have access to careers with living wages, opportunities to start and grow businesses, and clear pathways to personal and professional growth. Programs like BizCamp, Construction Career Academy, Bob Business Ready, and B-Warp. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Program are examples of the ongoing events designed to make our centennial mission to rebuild Black Wall Street right here in LA a reality. To sign up for our newsletter or to support the Los Angeles Urban League with your time, talent, and donations, visit laul.org. That's laul.org. The Los Angeles Urban League is a proud sponsor of Urban Family Focus, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader. If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580. That's right. Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Got your black. Follow the leader. Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Interrogating your assumptions and expanding your inventory of ideas. Let's get back to Tavis Smiley on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Tavis Smiley Show. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey filling in for Tavis and really enjoying this conversation with Fonz. Alfonso Terrell, he is the co-founder of the Spill app. And if you haven't heard about Spill, hopefully we have given you an earful today. And hopefully we've encouraged you to consider downloading the app. If you go to your app store and click on the Spill app, if you use the code SPILLMOB, that's SPILLMOB, you can join this community that is emerging as sort of a Wakanda-like place for us on social media. I'm just saying, there's a reason why Meta decided to launch their app to compete, and you have other apps like Blue Sky that are trying to compete. Everybody's trying to get a piece of Black Twitter, but aren't necessarily centering Black folks, and in this case, Black folks and queer folks in the design of the app. I was really just taken aback, Fonz, by the fact that you all are building, AI-powered technology that is being built by Black and queer folks, for this community. That is groundbreaking. Why aren't we hearing more about that?
Yeah, we're trying to make sure everybody knows and hears this is what we mean by centering our community. It's a really incredible, capability. Again, I want to shout out our incredible engineering teams who not only are building, this next generation technology to benefit and support, our communities, but also have withstood the incredible rush of people joining Spill over the past week. Most of, platforms that face this kind of growth sometimes get a little a little shaky maybe, but we've been able to stay up and be really strong and welcome so many people. So I do want to shout out our incredible team at Spill who are working so hard and not sleeping at all right now.
And not just your rank and file team members, but your executive leadership team. And to me, this is also very much in strong contrast to a lot of tech companies. Your executive leadership team actually reflects the very people that you have encouraged to join Spill and are building as a safe space for. No? Tell us about your executive leadership team.
Yeah, 100%. So obviously me and my co-founder, Tavis, again, coming from the same backgrounds that we're trying to build from. And I want to shout out Los Angeles' very own Kenya Parham, who is our Global VP of Community and Partnerships. She's incredible, Southern California native, and really the vibes that you feel when you come to Spill are in huge credit to her work and team and the painstaking effort to talk to people and, explain what Spill is about. So huge shout out to Kenya. And then our VP of Engineering, TJ Leonard, incredible, talented young man who served in the Navy for several years before and, was doing technology, development for the government and a number of different organizations like Amazon before coming to us coming to Spill to work with us. So we just have like an all-star team from the culture that's been amazing. It's really the best of the best, and we're excited to keep growing from here.
Now, I don't like to give too much energy to conspiracy theorists out there, but when we come forward, I want to get your take on what some of the black conspiracy theorists are out there saying about Spill. We want to give you an opportunity to correct the record. You're listening to the Tavis Smiley Show here on KBLA Talk 1580. More with Fonz, the co-founder of the Spill app, right here when we come forward.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hosting a barbecue is a breeze, but managing my frequent heartburn, that was a lot more work. I would chew up to 10 antacids in one day. Now I take just one Prilosec OTC, and my heartburn is blocked for a full 24 hours. Just one Prilosec OTC a day gives me one-and-done heartburn relief, so I can go back for seconds on my world-famous burgers.
Prilosec OTC. One pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Tired of being locked out of job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism? KBLA stands with you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations, clergy, students, and scholars, working collectively to improve the position of the black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage, career-track jobs. The Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing around anti-discrimination, learn about union apprenticeship programs, or sign on to a trade registry, please visit www.lablackworkerscenter.org. That's lablackworkerscenter.org. Together, we can beat the black jobs crisis. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Let's unpack a little bit more with Tavis Smiley. The conversation continues right now.
You're listening to the Tavis Smiley Show. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey filling in for Tavis and really enjoying this conversation with Spill co-founder Alfonso Terrell. I get to call him Fonz. Download the Spill app. We just for our KBLA Talk 1580 listeners. if you're in the market for a new app, a place that feels Wakanda-like, a place where we see Black Twitter migrating in huge numbers. I mean, you have to take my word for it. Spill was just trending on social media just this week. Just an explosion of interest in Spill. The app has been available for the past 3 weeks or so, and it is the talk of many towns, not just of the town here in Los Angeles where I happen to be today, but people in D.C. and in New York, everybody talking about Spill. And so if you're looking for a place where we can be in community, check out the Spill app. Use the code SPILMOB, SPILMOB, and go ahead and get on that. Before we went to break, I brought up some of the Black conspiracy theorists that are out there talking that talk about the Spill app, and I want to give Fonz, I want to give you an opportunity to correct the record. And so what are the Black conspiracy theorists saying, and how do you want to correct the record?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, we haven't had time to really pay too much attention to maybe all the stuff, but I think if anybody is, concerned about, what we're, our purpose or our mission or all these types of things, I encourage everyone, do the research. When we announced this project over 8 months ago, we made it clear, we're building for Black folks, queer folks, especially Black women who drive, culture on any platform and are often getting the most hate and are not getting the credit and rewards that they deserve. And we come from these communities. That's, it's personal for us. This isn't something that, we just thought of as a strategy. I've been working in social media and marketing, for the past 15 years. My entire leadership team has all been dedicated to elevating the culture in a variety of different fields and disciplines. And this is mission for us, so I encourage anyone, I know people might be, wanting to question or, understandably unsure of, all these things coming out, what's going on, what intentions are true. But I encourage you to come check out Spill. The proof is in the pudding. We are here. And most importantly, I encourage folks who may be on other platforms, look at the leadership of those platforms, right? Really look at what they say, really look at what they do, really look at what they've, been very clear that they prioritize and what they don't prioritize. And then come check us out. And I think you'll see the difference. And I encourage, I'm excited, as we grow, we're very early days, for us. So you guys will get to meet more of the team, in the future. But yeah, come mess with us. I think you'll see the real recognized real.
Real, recognized, real indeed. It has been a great honor, my friend, to be in conversation with you and to be in community with you, as now I'm on Spill. People can check me out there. I want to definitely keep the conversation going, and so we'll be in touch with your team and find some creative ways to spread the word, because there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation that's out there about platforms that cater to Black folks and other marginalized groups, and we want to shine a light on the folks that are doing it and doing it well. And so thank you for joining me here, and thanks for being a guest on the Tavis Smiley Show.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Dr. Quartey.
Thank you so much, Fonz. When we come forward, more good stuff, more change makers, more news that you can use. Don't you go anywhere. You're listening to the Tavis Smiley Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former Vice President Mike Pence is defending